Hello and welcome to MediSounds. These podcasts are made possible through contributions of people like you. If you would like to donate to support our work, you may make a tax-deductible contribution at greatoctave.com/donate. And please remember to subscribe and to give us a thumbs up. Today I'd like to talk to you about compassion and forgiveness, specifically self-compassion and self-forgiveness. I'm Shulamit, and I have been teaching sound meditation and practicing sound healing for the last 30 years. Most of us have had the experience of seeing the suffering of another and being moved by it, moved to sympathy, moved to empathy, moved to pity, and perhaps even deciding to intervene. That kind of kindness that we show sometimes to strangers is not something that we often do for ourselves. We frequently dump on ourselves. We're frequently very mean to ourselves. We frequently pick on ourselves for mild indiscretions and failures, as well as for significant offenses. Carrying around this kind of merciless self-criticism does not help us. It does not bring us happiness. It does not improve or correct our situation. It does not bring us forgiveness. It does not bring us joy. In fact, it interferes with our happiness. So how do we address that? One way is through sound. You can make a decision to not be that harsh, but you really have to have tools in order to accomplish it. So one way is through the practice of sound meditation. And the other, of course, the primary factor is to decide inside of your own head that you're going to treat yourself more compassionately. So what does that mean exactly? We have aspects to our nature that are innate to us. For example, judgment, which we need to move around in the world, and unconditional love, which can often get us into trouble. If you were to mix these two together, if you would blend them, if you would bring the softness of unconditional love to the harshness of judgment, you would find yourself in a position to be able to look at any particular situation or individual with a degree of clarity and to be kind about it. That does not mean that you hang around with dangerous people, toxic people, mean people. You don't have to do that. The important thing is just to look, to see, and to be kind. And why would you be kind? Because we're all in the same boat. We're all capable of meanness. We're all capable of pettiness. We're all capable of acting badly. We're also capable of great things. I don't want to ignore that. But you have to make a decision in the moment, not react to a particular offense with a desire to lash out against yourself or to run away from yourself. It's a kind of flight or fight response. We're conscious beings and we can make a decision to pause and to respond. It's a whole different way to live. And the amazing thing is that a byproduct of this self-compassion is self-forgiveness. I think we all know how terribly hard it is to forgive. Feels almost impossible. That's probably why they say to err is human and to forgive is divine. But if you practice compassion, you find that your desire to hold grudges or whatever eases up. You see that in essence, something has happened, it's bad, and you kind of let it go. I don't mean let it go in the sense of not being critical of others or of ourselves. We have to be, but we can do it with gentleness. If you tell a child that misbehaves that they're going to end up in prison, they're probably going to act out very badly. If you tell them that you love them and you expect more from them, you will probably see a better level of behavior, and we're children at heart. Compassion is in our own self-interest. With compassion, we improve not only our behavior, but our performance in the world, bringing us greater success. So what is the sound? The sound for compassion is the sound of ah. It's associated with wisdom, for it's a wise person that knows compassion. We can make the sound through our heart, in other words, pretending that our heart is our mouth. We can place our hands over our heart so that we can feel the vibration of the sound underneath our hand, knowing that we're pitching it to the right place. And then let the sound do its work. The sound has its own intelligence. It's a vibratory sound that links to the vibratory core of the universe. It educates our organs. It reminds us of who we are. And it does so without lecturing and without harsh criticism. It just simply is. You practice the sound twice a day, in the morning and at night. You do it as long as your breath lasts. You do it simply and easily. We're not opera stars. This is not performance. It's more a soul song, a cry from the heart. And we direct the sound. In this case, we can direct it to many different people and situations. But in this case, we're dedicating the sound to ourselves, to our own self-love, to our own ability to forgive ourselves, to feel compassion for our humanity, for our vulnerability, for our occasional stupidity and ignorance. And then you begin to forgive yourself. And then, my God, you start to forgive other people, and your whole world changes and becomes much sweeter. This is all described in my book, Kabbalah of Prayer, Sacred Sounds and the Soul's Journey, which has a more involved practice that you can do relating to this compassion sound. But for now, we're just going to practice this. So you put your hand over your heart, set your intention to send compassion to yourself for all that you are as a human being, both grand and small, both powerful and weak, both vulnerable and strong. And you make the sound as best you can, pitching it through the heart, resting in between breaths. You start this practice out modestly, meaning your intention is modest, to stop yourself in the middle of your self-criticism and to remember to send compassion to yourself. If you practice the sound, as I suggested, morning and night, and do as many as you can, you're going to find that it has an impact on you in the moment. You're going to feel calmer. You're going to feel the connection to something much greater than yourself that is supportive and loving and abundant. The universe is abundant. I myself have used these sounds for compassion every day for the last 30 years. I use it in my work, but I also use it in my private meditation work. And it has changed my life for the better, and it can change yours for the better and bring greater joy and happiness, self-acceptance, and peace in your household. On behalf of the Great Octave Foundation and myself, I would like to thank you for listening to our podcast. Please tune in again for our next installment, which deals with the very challenging issue of how to attain inner peace. The Great Octave Foundation promotes MediSounds worldwide. It is a system in which an individual or a group can use their own voices to attain deeper states of meditation, heightened awareness, and increase peace and joy in their lives and in the lives of others.